Hello everyone and welcome to the map Amphion. Joining me here, the upper left corner, the blue Zerg. These blue drones belonging to Rogue. Uh-oh, pool first. And the opponent and or possibly the unwitting victim here in the bottom left corner, a world champion. It is the Red Terran, Oliveira. Will they know? Will they see what is coming? What is Rogue cooking up though? Number one, Amphion does get the hatch down. Okay, so it won't be, you know, all in crazy shenanigans. Slightly shenanigan-y, of course, but not as far as it could have gone. There's no proxy hatch. There's no immediate roach warren, right? There's no gas, so really shouldn't be. Okay, we've got 6 Zerglings on the way. Now, Oliveira is going to send out that SCV. Also, opting for the Reaper opener, so should be, I would say, relatively fine. The question is, will they see all of this in time? Because the Lings are coming out right now. The SCV, oh yeah, they'll see it. Sees 3 Lings break to hit the SCV. Rogue deciding, oh, no, not gonna get the SCV. The Lings decided to try to wrap around, might try to get us around, but Oliveira already on top of it, got that SCV doing the mineral walk. Yes, you friendly ladies, you gents, in case you did not know, mineral walk. You take that worker, you right click on the minerals, that way there's no collision. It just passes right on through those pesky Zerglings. They get a drive-by claw or a bite, but other than that, everything's fine. Now, Oliveira decided to just be safe. Be careful, keep that Reaper home. I like the decision. Rogue opting to not go across the other side of the map, instead opting for the mental damage and anguish applied, keeping the Lings at home. Honestly, I kind of like that too. Nobody has to get damage done. Rogue, yes, I mean, going for the pool first, is it the economic play that every Zerg wants and dreams of? Of course not. But are they fine? Yeah, totally fine. The Reaper, unlike, Rogue and Oliveira in this case, not quite totally fine. He's going to take a bit of damage. He is not going to find his way up that ramp. But he will perhaps scout around a bit. Since the Reaper stayed at home, Rogue was able to get that third hatch slapped down. No trouble, no problem. Therefore, should be fine going into the mid-game, I think. On the other side, Terran, Oliveira, what are you cooking up? Got the buildings doing a switcheroo here. Although that reactor is very cold, very lonely on these dark nights. That, nope, no friends. What, are we going to build another barracks in it? We are. We're going to build another barracks in it, okay. Oliveira going for what is feeling like a little bit of a 2-1-1 style, and I know, madness for me to say while there was 2 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport on the board, but still, it's a marine drop. It's stim pack coming up. Will it be as harsh, as committed as the double medevac? I don't think so, because there's no second medevac on the way. Oliveira reining it back a little bit. Going instead for just kind of relatively normal setup here. I really would like to see them finish that wall. That would be nice. That would be ideal before Rogue decides to do something a bit rude, a bit Zergling shaped in that entrance there. And the drop will be deflected, so nobody really is going to get any damage done this early. Rogue deciding to cook up a couple extractors, not at the Natchery. No, of course not. Why would I do that? When I can start to mine the gas that are more difficult, more dangerous to mine later in the game. Let's start that now. Get that set. Oliveira might try to just stop some creep here. There's plenty of queens walking around, though. They've got those needles ready. Absolutely no trouble throwing them out. The medevac politely, professionally picking up the Reaper, even bringing them along. Say, hey, you've been out here a while. You could probably use a sit-down, a little bit of a respite. Oh my gosh, it's going to be more than 2 medevacs. We've got 3 medevacs. It's like 50% more medevacs, guys. They're going for the main base, too. Drop away, stim completed. Yes, stim did complete. Shields and +1 rather far away. But the goal is just to get a bit of damage done here with stim. Especially while Rogue just has Zerglings left on the field. The Queens can help out. The drones, I don't think you should pull the drones right at this moment. Oh god, he's going to. The drones are pulled. 8, 10 killed off. Queens gunned down. Where is the creep crew? They're not making it home just yet. Oliveira going for the drones, picking off more queens. He's going to have to start to think about going home, though. These medevacs are getting dangerously low. Wow. That was pretty solid, I will say. Getting a fair amount of damage. Yeah, resources lost, just numbers-wise, heavily in favor. Factor in, that was 14 drones, 4 queens, and escaping with all 3 medevacs. I don't see how you couldn't be happy as a Terran. I mean, I know Terran players generally, we could stereotype, say they'd be unhappy no matter what happened. But still, that was pretty good as far as strikes go. The follow-up at this point, we're going into just a normal Marine tank style, it seems. Following up, a couple siege tanks, some more Marines will get out here. These medevacs might have an issue with how low they're getting. Because if the Queens even, just a slight gust of wind could take out 2 of these medevacs. Siege tanks set up shop at the bottom of the ramp here. Oliveira clearly wants to push this 4th base. Decent amount of Banes, but there's no Bane speed just yet, and Rogue might want to wait for it. At this point, Ling's gonna flank from the left. They will get on top of those siege tanks, and the Marine count is still doing fine, though the Bane's not finding any connections with them, at least. Oh, are these fresh medevacs I'm seeing? I think so. Every last Marine will be either deflected or permanently deflected, we can say. There's 1 survivor. I feel like that's almost more rude than letting them all go down, because now you've got 1 who's gonna be so traumatized, so scarred, the amount of therapy he's going to need to recover from this attack. Oliveira, good gosh. Think of the bills, think of the mental health here. Bane speed does complete. 1-1 actually finishing up as well. Oh my god, the siege tanks. That's a good siege tank spot. I like that. Able to hit those drones. Oh gosh. And then Ling Bane Hydra. Can't really commit. Doesn't want to fully commit off of the creep. Ooh. Drones still taking damage, taking fire here. Trying to wrap around. Medevacs picking everything up. And that's the difficulty going off creep. You lose that speed advantage, much more difficult to catch up with things. Is there an answer coming up for the medevacs? Not really. I mean, we're getting Hive. We could go Vipers. Could get Vipers. Parasitic Bomb abducts into the pack of Hydralisks. We could see that could be an answer, but as far as the core of it, no, Rogue's going for Lurkers. No Spire, no Muta, but a huge flank here coming in from both sides. The siege tanks will be immediately isolated. Both of them will be picked off, but the Marine count is still looking quite healthy, actually. Only 1 stim involved in there. Oliveira being careful not to over-stim all of those Marines. Reinforcing tank comes up. How many factories? We got 2. Although one of them's got a reactor. Opting for Widow Mines. Good gosh, the production tab, both of you. Just doing great. Liberator set up shop, watching those entrances, try to protect the tanks. The Widow Mines crawling a bit more forward too. Rogue's gonna try it. He's gonna set it up. He's got a decent chance with all of the angles, but losing a few Banes early on, I think it's go time. Widow Mine connection on the left is looking pretty good. On the right's also not too bad. The Banes will be denied. The Marines, the siege tanks will survive, which means that Terran is going up 1. Map number 1 goes to Oliveira. Map number 2 in this lovely best of 3 series shall be Oceanborn. Here, in the upper left, the blue Zerg once again dominating that left corner, but not quite the rest of the map. It is Rogue. And their opponent, strong, honest, tried and true tank push. Map number 1, can they keep it rolling? It is Oliveira. We shall see. Keen, curious. Rogue, changing it up. Again, you gotta remember, that was a pool first that saw 0 damage. I said, you know, it doesn't really matter at the grand scheme of the game, but it does tell the situation. Rogue made that investment, it didn't pay off, which means if Rogue could have done it differently, would he have? Probably. I would say that, at the very least, is something we can all agree on. Rogue probably would have preferred a hatch first, if he knew going into it there was going to be no damage involved. Oliveira, on the other hand, is probably feeling quite good with how everything went. I'd be a little surprised to see a lot of changes. Getting that Reaper opener, orbital command on time. Check that out, you gold Terrans. Make sure you're doing that one. Command center on the low ground. Gosh, fine, standard. No proxies, no shenanigans, no business here on Oceanborn. Everybody's underwater. They're already a little uncomfortable. They don't want to go outside their comfort zone, stay inside my little, I don't know, Indigos-shaped box. Make sure everything's fine. Couple queens will show up here. Marine follow-up. Gosh, what else could I say? Rogue was going for Hive, I will say. Towards the end of that, Rogue was also doing a bit of investment when Oliveira hit. With the Liberators, with the Widow Mines, if Rogue had gotten to Hive Tech, had gotten that online, would things have turned out differently? Lurkers show up suddenly, but there's already Liberators, so you're going to need something else in there. Can you make it work without Vipers? Without the Viper Tech? Good question. Vipers may have been a better option even just to start off, because you get the Abduct, of course, the Liberators, you get Blinding Cloud, shut down those siege tanks. The Widow Mines were still an issue, but Widow Mines are always an issue. Just ask any non-Terran player in the last, 10 years at this point. But that's a digression, that's a distraction, a tangent, if you will. Follow-ups here. We've got third command center, of course. Oliveira changing it up slightly here. We've got that second Rex coming on a fair bit quicker. More Marines, perhaps. Not caring as much about going for the drop for that starport medevac opener. Well, getting stim rolling. Tech lab starts. The factory. Decorative. For now. I think it's going to be a starport, though. Oliveira wants a starport. Not enough gas. Either just got the second Vespine up and running. There you go. Alright, third CC. Turning into an orbital starport on the way. Factory so far. Not going to be much of anything. Rogue did get to the top of the ramp, so probably got to see the third CC. We'll check on this, actually. Saw the third CC. Probably saw the starport, I'm assuming. Rogue got to click on it, briefly. What's the play gonna be here? The 2-1-1, again, similar setup, perhaps. Reactors coming up for the factory, but I feel like that's just for the starport. Watch, it's gonna be a SWAT Baru. The building switch, oh yeah. Starport's gonna sit down on that reactor, it's gonna make 2 medevacs. For all these Marines that are about to come up. Yep. Alright. More traditional 2-1-1 setup, it seems. Oliveira's just going to have a boatload of Marines. He's going to give them stim, and he's going to say, it is go time. So, the thing about this build, though, is it is a bit more of an investment for the Terran. Focusing on this many Marines, getting the stim out this quickly, I've heard it takes a fair amount of damage to truly pay off. Uh-oh. That is not what you want to see as an overlord. Like, I don't think things are about to go well. Not in the slightest. Things not going well. Not a good day to be that overlord, for sure. If you're the OV that gets sent across the other side of the map, I feel like that's automatically kind of the short straw for Zerg. The Reaper. Reaper's going as fast as the medevacs. Okay, seems a bit unfair. Marines stem and hatch immediately canceled. Rogue doesn't even want to let that just get a bit lower here. Third CCS, he's under attack by just a few lings, but those lings are quickly being recalled back home. Rogue may be wanting to make sure everything is on hand to deflect the Marines here, because there's no Banes. It's just the lings and the queens here. Oh, forcing another stim out. That's pretty damaging. That's a good thing, always, for the Zerg here. Any stim that does not result in direct combat is usually pretty helpful. Because now look at this. The medevacs, yeah, they could heal all of them up, but as long as everything is moving, they're not. Oliveira really just needs to tell them to sit down for a second, heal everybody up, before Rogue decides to pull the trigger and engage. Does Rogue even want to engage, though? Rogue's getting a few Bane links. That Bane nest finished up, which is always helpful. It gives those Marines a target. Centrifugal hooks starting up. Oliveira has not found the damage yet. So far, just cleaning up a few creep tumors. I'm sorry, Rogue has burrow? Rogue's getting burrow. Now we gotta keep an eye out for burrowed Banes, really? The Banes morphing on the high ground will be found. Queens desperately trying to get around them. Wait for me, fellow Marines. He will be found out. You are not one of us, Oliveira says. I have no barracks from that side of the map. I'm sure that was the thought. Alright, well, the 2-1-1, that initial group, really not finding a whole lot other than just cleaning up a fair amount of creep tumors. The reinforcements will show those centrifugal hooks is 8 seconds away, and that is a healthy backstab coming from Rogue. Oliveira does not care, though, okay? Army still pushing on the other side. The SCVs. No. No. Well, that was pretty good. The Banes will find a connection. 16 SCVs fall. The Lings, they're getting a little bit done. On the other side, the hatch was either canceled or lost. I'm honestly not too sure and don't really care to back it up to check. Siege tanks will be picked up, set behind the minerals to hit the extractor that's not here. Rogue. Is this why Rogue is not taking his gases at the natural? Has he been hurt before? Oh my gosh, that's a lot of Zerglings. More Banes rolling into the natural. Marines will respond, try to help out. Oh god, the target fire looking pretty good, but not going to be good enough. That's just fair. Too many Zerglings. On the other side, the army's just trying to reposition. 30 SCVs and counting. The natural is on fire. Some buildings, literally. Oh god. And then some Banes clean up the army. Rogue pulling the trigger, getting some decent Bane connections will absolutely tie this up 1-1, which means we are on to the grand finale next. The grand finale will be played out on the map Alcyone. Joining me here. At this point, you know it. It's the blue Zerg, of course. It's gonna be Rogue. Get that OV out of the shot. Okay. And the red Terran, of course, the other side. It can't be Rogue. So it must be Oliveira. Did you change your skin? I don't remember seeing... What are these? Umogen? Umogen SCVs and the special ops command center buildings? I do like the buildings. I have that one, actually. I like that one because everything it's more gray, much more dark and sinister. The blue lights, of course. I think that's what this is. Oh well. Time will tell. I'm not sure. Oliveira's maybe he's playing a special challenge. Every match he loses, he has to change his skins, and you know this is the first time he's had to change it in a while because there's only like 3 sets of skins for our game at this point. What about Rogue? Did you change anything? No. Standard Zerg. Come on, please. Everybody knows the best Zergs. They have skins. Who's my simulant Zerg lovers in the chat? Anybody here? Simulant. What's the other one? Leviathan Brood, or the one that's like half Zerg and half metal. What is it? It's Cerberus, I think. That sounds familiar. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. Quickest way to get an answer on the internet is not to ask the question, is to say the wrong answer, because then somebody will undoubtedly correct you. Reaper moving across, not going for the third base first, which means this drone is going to be fine. Drone's going to be fine. The battle ensues in the natural. We will follow the Reaper. Take a drink. Also, drink alert. Stay hydrated, guys. The follow-ups behind this looking dreadfully standard. I see that third CC on the way for Oliveira Factory coming up. Reactor being built by that barracks, I presume. Queen could shoo the Reaper away. Not really interested in it. She's not feeling it just yet. Give her a couple more cups of coffee. Make sure she's feeling alright. Oliveira finally scouts the third, says, oh, that's a hatchery. Yes, that is a hatchery. Oh, for the first time, I think, in this series, we see the factory sit on the reactor and make a few Hellions. Okay, Oliveira changing things up as well. Not going for the, perhaps, committed barracks play. Why wouldn't you want more Marines? This Marine skit, that's kind of cool, too. Like the little... I know it's like a visor, a helmet. It looks like an air bubble. It looks like he's stuck in an air bubble. He's trying to breathe. Probably good for being underwater, maybe. The Hellions quickly racing out of that factory to go look at the Xel'Naga watchtower. Ling does make it into the base. Got to see, I'm assuming, everything that's going on here. Oh, the barracks, the factory did a swap. Oliveira says, psych, just kidding, I'm going to make a bunch of Marines. And we're going to get stim, we're going to keep it going. Okay. Very well done. Rogue on the other side. No Bane nest yet, I feel. It's still slightly early. Yeah. No lair, no Bane yes. Blech. Bane nest. Bane yes. Yes to the Bane nest, many Zergs say. Will it be different, though? Because we can't rule out the possibility, of course. Both of them could decide to change things up. I mean, Rogue could go for a Roach Warren, Roach-flavored play. Oliveira could even go wild, maybe go mech. I would kind of like to see that, personally speaking. Just have a super different, change things up. But they're both going to do whatever they feel will work the best. Double engineering bay, quickly killing my hopes for a mech game. But Rogue, changing things up slightly. We've got the Roach Warren, the Rogue Warren, if you will, on the way at that natural entrance. Okay. So Rogue's going for the Roach Warren, which means this is going to be a little different of a setup here. Oliveira's going to move out. He's going to expect to clear a bunch of creep. Try to make things easier for a follow-up push. But what's going to happen is, after this Roach Warren's done, Rogue is going to just start flooding roaches. He's already hit the drone count. He's got 66 workers. He's just going to pause it here. He's making a few Zerglings. I do see the Lings on the way. Probably to help out with the defense, because the amount of roaches is somewhere between no and 0. Okay. They're just not here yet. Roach speed is on the way. It's an investment. And Rogue also needs more overlords, because he's supply blocked. That's okay, though. Roaches starting up the production. Oliveira, he thinks it's the same style that it has been. He's only seen queens, he's only seen zerglings. He's going for the creep tumors. Oh god, that's a lot of lings. Gonna force the Medivacs to pick up. We're just following the Medivacs, really. Oh, here we go. The roach count is rising. On the other side, Oliveira. Oh, I saw something. Was this a drop? Liberator? Reaper? Maybe. Probably the Reaper. Got in. I don't know if the Reaper actually saw any roaches, though. Scan initiated. Shut down those creep tumors. Second factory on the way here. Oh, God, that's really far forward, though. So Oliveira needs to really just kind of tie down the base at this point. Rogue's roach count is rising. As soon as Rogue hits that max supply, he's going to have 1-1. He's going to have a pretty healthy count, probably close to 40 roaches, maybe 8 to 10 ravagers, and he's going to go. The Zerg, this is a bit of a bludgeon approach. Oh, the siege tank is going to be picked off, and every siege tank is going to become very important, very crucial in this, because siege tanks shred roaches. You keep them safe, get them behind a wall at this point, things are going to be fine. They're coming, though. The bludgeon, the hammer is on the way. The tanks need to get into position. I'd even say SCVs maybe need to be pulled. Because Oliveira's army supply is just not there yet. Biles throwing down. The siege tanks will be picked off. The initial wall of roaches is being dealt with, but they're inching closer. I see a couple SCVs running through. The tanks are picked off. The Marines still trade pretty decently. Again, oh, boys are pulled. SCVs on the front line. Will it be enough? I don't think so. Oh god, the amount of roaches is just too much. How many SCVs? Just 22 SCVs just fell. And this second factory, I said it's too far forward. It's not looking good. That factory will be shut down. Production now limited to 1 tank, 2 liberators, a bunch of Marines. Don't underestimate the Marines, but if they get surrounded, they get flanked by roaches, things are really not looking good. Rogue set up the bludgeon, set up the hammer, and he is swinging, and it's looking like a hit. I would say he's going to sink the battleship, for sure. How did he sink the battleship? With a hammer? Don't ask me. Okay, he's got quite a throwing arm. The Marines? Oh god, watch out for the Biles. The depots start to be picked off. How many tanks we got? There's 1 tank. Liberators will help out. Rogue's morphing a few more Ravagers. It's 3 Biles. 3 Biles is that magic number. Take out a Liberator, take out a tank. Oliveira really trying to just hold down the fort. I think he wants 2-2. Let those Marines do a bit more, but having the planetary over here... Oh god, more SCVs falling. It's just way too many roaches. Losing 2 bases, losing a bit of production. The depots will be picked off. 2-2 completes for the 28 Marines. The roaches outnumber them. There's more roaches than Marines. Siege tanks moving outside the wall, the place that no Gold Terran ever wants to be, I will say. We're going to zoom out. Rogue is setting up a decent flank here, bit of a surround. Biles slightly missing the Liberator, having to do that a little quickly, I think. The Liberators were doing fine. They're picking off the important units. Rogue will be deflected, actually. Missing those Biles really hurt. Only 1 Liberator was killed off. The tanks still here, still kicking. 6 kills, 11 kills. Perfect, okay. Oliveira quickly, he says, I need to go now. Getting a bit of damage. Rogue is just re-flooding with roaches. More roaches on the way. 2-2. Gosh, what is this? It's probably 30 seconds out. I think Rogue probably will just wait for the 2-2. I think that's what I would do in this case. And as the Terran, I mean, yeah, where's the second factory? Thank you for building the second factory somewhere slightly safe. Can get more tanks out. I think that's probably the play. Gotta get a 4th base though. Start up a command center. Get more siege tanks. Just hold the line basically. You know the Roach, the Ravager wave is coming. Oh yeah, you get that Zelnaga watchtower. See all of the roaches and ravagers. The roach-shaped swarm making its way across. Defenses? Not nothing. Okay, it's not negligible here. I'm actually more worried about the Marine count. Where are all the Marines? There's 42 Marines on the map. They ain't here, though. They're across the other side. Drones will be pulled, get a bit of damage done, but the real battle's over here. The siege tanks were cleaned up. The roaches, the ravagers. There's even some Zerglings here to help out. This third base is shut down. More biles taking out the tanks. This attack will be deflected. Medevacs destroyed. Marines gone, and hope extinguished. The Terran forced to tap out Rogue with the Roach Bludgeon style is going to take map number 3 and with it the series. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.